In today's episode of Value in My Toy Collection, we're going to actually value some more of our beauty pageant collection. We've got some toys and we've got a ton of Miss Universe program books to go through. Hey everyone, my name's Chris. I'm a full-time beauty pageant director as my career, but in my spare time, I'm a huge toy collector. I've been collecting toys now for over 40 years. You can officially call me a toyaholic. Thanks so much for checking out my YouTube channel. My channel consists mainly of two things: beauty pageants, which I love, and toys, which I love even more. My dream in life has always been to own a toy museum. So it's finally happened. I've bought a building and now I've got to move this massive collection and value it into the building. We're calling it the Toy Vault because it's an old bank building located in Crystal Springs, Mississippi that actually has two large vaults. So now I'm just going to make a ton of videos and value my toy collection, and then I'm going to make some where I take you shopping with me to thrift stores and flea markets and toy stores to let you see where I find all these goodies. So let's start this episode of Value in My Toy Collection and value some toys. Well, let's jump right in and start valuing this toy collection. Well, first we have some Miss Universe dolls. Now, they do have the original Miss Universe crown, so I feel like they are from the Miss Universe pageant. I don't know if they were licensed or not, but these are worth about $25 each, and we have two of those. And I'm really surprised that's all they're worth. I thought they'd be worth more than that. And then we have the Miss Universe outfits that went with the dolls. These on the larger cards, I feel like these are worth about $20 each, and I don't know, some of the quality of these outfits aren't that great, but since they have the Miss Universe logo on them, it makes them worth a little bit more. Like this one is a bride, okay, and then this one's just an evening gown. You see, they're not super great quality, but they were cheap when they first sold them. They were just a couple dollars, probably back in the 70s. So this one's kind of cool. It's a fur coat for Miss Universe. This one actually looks like a Cher doll outfit, so I really like that one with the peacock. That one's pretty cool. And then this is just a black dress. And again, these are worth about $20 each in these big bubble cards. And then here's another, like a tweed or a fur coat. Now, these are not the bubble cards. These are just a thin card. So I figure these are worth about $15 each. But you see the quality of these dresses are pretty terrible. These are like dollar store doll clothes, but they put the Miss Universe packaging on them, so makes them a little more collectible. That's a terrible outfit. Look, these are really bad, but I guess back in the day, they didn't do such quality control. This one's terrible too. And then on the back, it shows the different outfits you could get. But since I am a big beauty pageant collector, I did get a bunch of these. Now, this one is a Dayanara Torres doll. She was Miss Universe 1993. I think these were mainly made in Puerto Rico, where she's from. And these two dresses are worth about $40 each. They're a little more collectible on eBay. And then we have the doll. She looks like a Princess Leia body type doll, but the doll, she's worth about $60. She's kind of hard to find. All right, next up we have a poster print of the 1965 Miss Universe beauty pageant contestants. These are all the different countries that competed. And I believe this year Thailand won. She's that very first contestant on the upper left on the top row. So these are pretty collectible. These are hard to find. I figure this is worth at least $50. It could be worth more than that, but we're going to go with 50. And then here's what the other side of it looks like. It shows it's official. Now, next, I had this doll custom made just because I loved her dress so much. She's Miss Croatia Universe 2012. And Pageant Personality made this doll. And they usually charge about $300 or $400 to make dolls. But she has beads and Swarovski crystals. So I figure she's worth at least $200. Have a Catriona Gray painting that I made. This is probably worth about $40. It's really good. I made a couple of my friends that same painting because it turned out really good. Then we have the OPI nail polish collection. The year Miss Universe sponsored this. They were a sponsor of Miss Universe, I should say. And this display set with all these bottles of fingernail polish that say Miss Universe, they're probably worth about $100 for the whole set. And then they actually sponsored the pageant a couple years. This was a different display they had another year. It has a little crown ring on the top of some of the bottles, as you see. And this one's probably worth about $75 for the whole set, because it does say Miss Universe. All right, next up we have these lucite paperweights. I got these off eBay a long time ago. You never see these things on eBay. So I figure these are worth at least $40 each. They might be worth a lot more than that. So we're going to say all three of them are worth about $120 for the set. All right, here we have a Miss Universe sheet music page. It's worth about $20. And then we have a couple photos of Miss Universe 2000 from India, and they're worth about $5 each. All right, getting into our program books. This is the very first Miss Universe pageant program book in 1952. It's worth about $75. It's crazy that the program books from the 50s aren't worth as much as the one in the 60s and 70s and 80s. But I think they must have made more of these at the beginning, so they're not worth as much. This one's from 1953 with a 1952 winner on the front, worth $65. This is the 1954 program book. It's worth about $65. And then this is the 1955 program book with Miss USA on the front when she won Miss Universe, worth about $55. And the 1956 program book, worth about $55. Look at that trophy. That thing was huge back then. And then we had this 1955 picture book with all the contestants. It has Miss Universe on the front, Miss USA on the back. I figure it's worth at least $55 as well. I never see this come up on eBay. Pretty cool. Oh, and then look, it had a pull out of the swimsuit poster in it. Might be worth more than $55 with that, but we'll just say $55. All right, then we have the 1957 program book. That's Miss Universe 56 on the cover, worth $55. The 1958 program book with Miss Universe 57 on the cover, worth $55. 1959 book with Miss Universe 58 on the cover, worth $55. And this one's really hard to find. The 1960 program book is worth about $200. And then this one, the 1961 program book, also worth $200. And then the 1962 program book is worth about $150. This is a double picture on the front. It's worth $200 from 1964. And then we have the 1968 Miss Universe program book with the 67 winner on the cover, Sylvia Hitchcock from the USA, worth $200. 1971 program book with Miss Puerto Rico on the front, who won Miss Universe. It was $1 back then. Now it's worth about $250, which is crazy. And then the 1972 program book where Lebanon won in 71, also worth $250. These are super hard to find. They're very pricey. The Miss Universe 1974 book with the 73 winner from the Philippines on the front, worth $300. And then in 1977, they didn't put any winners on the front, but this is worth about $250. And then in 1979, also didn't put the winners on the front, worth about $150. The 60s and 70 program books are very valuable. This 1983 Miss Universe pageant held in St. Louis is worth about $150. And then the 1985 book with Miss Sweden on the front, who won Miss Universe, is worth $150. And then in 1986, Puerto Rico won in 85. That one's worth about $150 as well. This 1991 held in Cancun is worth about $75. And this one from Las Vegas in 1991 is worth about $100. Then in 1992, the one with the flowers on the front is worth about $125. 1994, this is just a profile book of the contestants from the Philippines that year, and it's worth about $75. I'm missing several years because they're so expensive, it's so hard to find. The 1995 book was held in Namibia, and it was worth about $125. In 1997, Miss Venezuela won in 96, and that book's worth about $100. In 1998, here's that program book with Brooke Lee from the USA, who won in 97, worth $100. In 1999, that's the 98 winner from Trinidad and Tobago, worth $100. And then this one in 2000 with Botswana winning in 1999 is worth $100. 2001 50th anniversary program book with India on the cover is worth about $125. She was Miss Universe 2000. The 2002 program book with Puerto Rico winning in 2001 on the cover is worth about $125. And the 2003 program book with Panama on the cover is worth about $125. And 2004 with Dominican Republic on the cover is worth about $125. The 2005 program book with Australia on the front is worth about $125. And then the 2006 program book with Canada winning in 2005 on the cover is worth about $125. And then in 2007, that's the 2006 winner on the cover, Puerto Rico, worth about $125. And then in 2008, that's the 2007 winner on the cover, Miss Japan, worth about $125. We have the 2009 Miss Universe program book worth about $125. This one's a little too risque for me for a beauty pageant. Then we have the 2010 program book. This one's worth about $125 as well. And then it also came with a swimsuit poster on the inside of that program book, which is pretty cool. I'm not a prude, but I think beauty pageants should be held to a higher standard and they shouldn't be too provocative on the cover of these books. The 2011 book's worth $125. This 2012 book's also worth about $125. And then in 2013, this one's also worth about $125. Then I got this 2013 contestant profile book from Russia, and it's worth about $75. It's really hard to find. The Miss Universe program book from 2014 is worth about $125. And then this one from 2015 is also worth about $125. Now this one with Pia on the cover from 2016 is worth about $250. It's pretty collectible. Whenever a Filipino winner wins, things shoot up because they have such big fans across the world. All right, the 2017 Miss Universe program book is worth about $125, and then the 2018 program book is worth about $125. And then the 2019 book with Catriona Gray is worth about $250. Again, she was from the Philippines. And then in 2020, Miss South Africa won in 19, so that's worth only about $65 for some reason. That one you can find cheap on eBay. Now this book, they were just doing as a digital book online, but I found a copy that was a real book and it's worth about $150. That one's really hard to find. And then the Miss Universe 2023 with Albany on the cover is worth about $200. I think I'm missing a couple books. And then the Miss Universe book from 2022 is worth about $100. Well, in our previous 471 videos of our toy collection videos and our pageant collection videos, our total was $1,200,012. And when we add this video of a few of our toys from the pageants and these incredibly expensive program books, we can add another $8,320 to our overall grand total. So that means our overall grand total for episode 472 of Value in My Toy Collection is a whopping $1,208,332. I always wanted to say I had $1 million toy collection, and I can finally say it now. I'm not a millionaire, though. I've just been saving toys all my life, going to thrift stores and flea markets, garage sales, and looking online for a lot of this pageant stuff, and it's just accumulated to this big old total. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos as much as I am making them. I'd like to see what all I have and what it's worth. And I'm finally getting about to the end of the collection. I probably have less than 30 videos left to make, and I'll be completely done. I'm ready to move all this stuff into that toy museum and start getting this thing ready for the public. Remember, I do put all the pictures of these collectibles on our Facebook page, which is called the Toy Vault of Mississippi. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please think about doing so because it certainly helps us grow. So until our next video, we will see you then.